Please rise for the procession of the platform party for Stockton University's 2022 Commencement Ceremony, led by Grand Marshal Dr. Gene Abbott, who bears the mace of the university.
Welcome to Stockton University's commencement ceremony at the Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Would everybody please rise and join in the singing of the national anthem, led by the Stockton Ensemble and accompanied by Dr. Beverly Vaughn, Professor of Music.
by the dawn's early light. Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free.
and the home of the breeze.
Please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, we would like to make a few announcements. This facility is equipped with smoke detectors, which will set off visual and audio alarms when smoke is detected. Smoking is permitted in the loggia balcony next to the ballroom. The New Jersey Fire Code requires that we evacuate the building should these alarms be activated. We also ask that you do not block the aisles at any time during an emergency. We direct your attention to the exits located under the exit signs throughout the arena. We will have staff available to assist you in the event of an emergency. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the ceremony. It is now my privilege to ask Dr. Amy Beth Glass, Associate Provost for Academic Affairs, to come to the podium to offer welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Abbott. Good afternoon, and welcome to our candidates for graduation, their families, and special guests as we celebrate our 50th anniversary of teaching. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the platform party. I ask that these colleagues and distinguished guests stand and remain standing until all names are called. Kindly hold your applause until we complete the introductions. Representing the Stockton University Board of Trustees this afternoon are Mr. Ray Ciccone, Chair and a 1979 alumnus. Ms. Nalita Valentine, a 1986 alumna. Dr. Nancy Davis, Professor Emerita. And Ms. Lillian Morales, trustee and a 2002 Stockton alumna. Representing the Stockton University Foundation Board this afternoon is Ms. Donna Bugsby, Chair. Distinguished members of the platform party include Dr. Limor Kahanev, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Jean Abbott, Associate Professor of Business, Accounting, and the Faculty Grand Marshal. Dr. Manish Madan, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice and President of the Faculty Senate. Dr. Brian Bridges, Secretary of Higher Education for the State of New Jersey and today's keynote speaker. Dr. Josette Katz, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs at Atlantic Cape Community College. Brianna Bracey, Student Senate President, and Ms. Danielle Dyson, a candidate for Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Marine Science, and our student speaker for the class of 2022. And finally, the University Cabinet and Deans. Thank you all for your service to Stockton and higher education in New Jersey. Please be seated. At this time, I would also like to acknowledge Stockton's faculty. Will the faculty please rise? The faculty before you represent a portion of the dedicated faculty who teach, mentor, and support students each and every day. We thank you for all that you do. Please be seated. I'd like to acknowledge some special guests who are in our audience today, and they're sitting to my right in section 103. These are members of the University Foundation Board and many government, county, and municipal officials who represent us today. Thank you for celebrating with our graduates today. And at this time, it is my distinct pleasure to invite Danielle Dyson, a candidate for Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Marine Science, to come to the podium and address the graduating class.
Thank you, and good afternoon to Provost Kahanov, administrators, faculty, staff, and my fellow graduates in the class of 2022. It is my pleasure to be the student speaker for the ceremony this afternoon. I have spent the last 4 years finding my home away from home at Stockton University. But our journey did not just start there. Grade school and high school were a lot of learning about the whats and the wheres. What was the Revolutionary War? Where was New Jersey on a map? But college, that was a lot about learning who you are, to be exact. For many, it was as if we were just small fledglings, leaving the nest for the first time and moving into the great unknown, full of much excitement and at least an ounce of fear. Between rolling into 8 a.m. classes and spending many nights awake in the library, the days quickly blended into weeks and semesters and years until here we are today. And in my time here, I have learned that being an Osprey truly means being kind, compassionate, and part of one big family. As a part of the Stockton family, we have accomplished things that I never thought possible. We have learned from professors that hail from across the globe, each one challenging us to master a new concept. We might have completed grand research projects, created magnificent art galleries, or found lifelong friends. And while everyone's college journey was different, we all get the same thing in the end: a fancy, very expensive piece of paper. But it's not that piece of paper or cramming for organic chemistry exams that we will remember. It is the experiences, the connections, and the lessons that we learned here at Stockton that we will always remember. The most important lesson Stockton taught me was that it is possible to conquer your dreams. I came to Stockton as a freshman, just having lost my father. I thought it was impossible to do many things, and Stockton proved me wrong at every step of my journey here. I thought I was too busy for love, and it came and smacked me in the face. I thought it was impossible to conduct my own research as an undergraduate. 1 year into Stockton, I was working with professors answering research questions about the very bay I grew up next to, and would then be set up with a fellowship tagging sharks right here on the Jersey Shore. I have broken boundaries as a woman in STEM, and it was all because Stockton provided me an army of supporters at every step of the way. And while your experiences might have differed from mine, I am certain that you have had at least one dream come true here at Stockton. Taking those first steps into Stockton University has changed all our lives entirely. But all great things must come to an end. And now that we are graduating, we are once again being thrown into the unknown. For some, that is terrifying and nerve-wracking, and believe me, I feel all those things too. But most importantly, moving into the unknown provides you with a blank canvas to paint a new dream. Take that dream and nurture it, block out the noise and follow it so that you are living or working towards that dream every day. Failure and setbacks are inevitable, so welcome them with open arms and only a little bit of tears. Learn from them, strategize, and make a plan to accomplish your dreams. Catch the impossible in your hands, and when you do, think of another impossible dream to chase. Kerry Washington once said, "You and you alone are the only person who can live the life that can write the story that you were meant to tell." So keep writing your story. And while you are off chasing a grand new dream, remember that here at Stockton, there will always be an army of supporters behind you. And since accomplishments like these are rarely achieved without challenge, today I challenge you to go out into the world and conquer your impossible. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2022. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Limor Kahanov, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Ms. Dyson. What a wonderful day to be an Osprey. Graduating class of 2022, give yourselves a well-deserved round of applause. That was not too bad. I think you can do better, though. Give yourselves a well-deserved round of applause. That's it. No one takes this journey alone. Let's applaud those who have supported you along the way. I am pleased to be here today representing President Kesselman, who is unable to be present due to COVID protocol. He's on the mend and is staying home out of an abundance of caution. The President and First Lady, both whom are proud Stockton graduates, are watching today's ceremony from their home via live stream and send their warmest wishes and congratulations to their fellow Ospreys, friends, and family. As you take this final step in completing your academic career at Stockton, prepared to lead and to make a difference in today's challenging environments, it is imperative that we take time to celebrate and cherish these moments. Commencement is one of the most important traditions for an institution of higher education. Dating back to medieval times, this event marks the milestone of student achievement, growth, and scholarly experience. I treasure this moment, your moment, when we as a unified body have the honor of celebrating you and your accomplishments. In 2 ceremonies today, Stockton will graduate 2,700 baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral students. This incredible number illustrates the commitment, resilience, and perseverance you all have demonstrated along your academic journey. You will continue to rely on these strengths as you move towards new opportunities. Today is an important moment in your life. It represents the coming together of your past, present, and future journey. Today acknowledges everything that helped you get here, the hard work, the extra hours of studying, the remarkable friendships with your classmates, the fervent inspiration of your professors, the unconditional support of your family and friends. These same elements will infuse the passions and motivations that will sustain your future pathways, with all the excitement, successes, and challenges that await. The world's a very different place than when you stepped onto Stockton's campus or started your first Zoom class. We have faced historic shifts in the past few years. All the more reason why the world always needs difference makers, individuals who commit themselves to making positive change either out in front or behind the scenes, regardless of the challenge and no matter the odds. They persevere because they must, and they succeed because they can. We all have that spark, to devote part of our time, energy, and talent to making the world better. That's what makes you formidable Osprey. We become part of something bigger than ourselves, something that provides us with an intrinsic sense of self-worth, something that makes us and those who care about us proud of what we've become. Today, Stockton is pleased to recognize Dr. Brian Bridges, an extraordinary leader who embodies this spirit. He's an individual dedicated to making a positive impact. We're incredibly proud and grateful that he's focused on the Garden State. Dr. Bridges is committed to achieving the state's higher learning goals, providing opportunities for exposure to create dreams, and providing accessible post-secondary educational pathways that open doors to wonderful and new vocational realities. Dr. Bridges earned a doctorate in higher education administration from Indiana University, a Master of Public Administration from University of North Carolina, and a Bachelor of Arts in English Language and Literature from Francis Marion University. A seasoned leader in higher education with a career spanning more than 25 years, Dr. Bridges has served in various capacities as a faculty member to executive leadership and administration. Prior to his current role as Secretary of Higher Education for the state of New Jersey, he played a tremendous role at the United Negro College Fund, serving in key positions, including Vice President of Research and Member Engagement and Chief Research Officer. He also served as Vice Provost for Diversity, Access, and Equity at Ohio University and as Assistant Professor of Higher Education Administration at George Washington University. Dr. Bridges exemplifies commitment to public service through the promotion of equitable access to higher education, as well as promoting resiliency in higher education institutions amid the pandemic. I'm honored to introduce him. I invite Dr. Brian Bridges to join me at the podium. Mr. Ciccone, please join me.
I'm here.
Mr. Ciccone, it is my distinct pleasure to recommend the conferral of the Doctor of Public Service honoris causa upon Dr. Brian Bridges, Secretary of Higher Education for the state of New Jersey. Dr. Bridges is a distinguished leader in public service, most notably in his service as Secretary of Higher Education since November 2020.
Provost Kahavif, I accept your nomination of Dr. Brian Bridges for the Doctor of Public Service with this salutation. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, the Board of Trustees hereby confers upon Dr. Brian Bridges, Secretary of Higher Education for the state of New Jersey, the degree of Doctor of Public Service honoris causa with all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto.
Thank you. Wow, that is truly an honor. Now I've got two of these things around my neck. I'm going to switch it up a little bit and do something that I think the graduates will appreciate. I want to take a selfie with all of you. So you all have to wave. Okay, now we can get started. My daughter will appreciate that. So good afternoon, everyone. It's given the time of day, I hope no one's still hungover from the celebrations last night. But I'm sure some of you are tired, and I'll be brief so that you can get back to celebrating and your families. I'm honored to be with you today to celebrate your commencement from Stockton University. And I want to congratulate you on all of the hard work, the research of topics that you will never have to reference ever again in life, and the countless late nights that got you to where you are today. Commencement. The definition of the word commence is to begin or start. And while you're concluding your studies here at Stockton, today is just the beginning of a brand new journey for each of you. I hope you remember this day well, from the friends graduating alongside you with their colorfully decorated mortarboards, to the family who traveled long distances to see you, and you should be really appreciative because gas is really expensive these days. To the books, music, and other cultural influences that have shaped the person you are today. Right now, you probably feel invincible, forever young and energetic. But one day in the not too distant future, you might find yourselves up on a stage like this in a reversal of roles, giving a commencement speech. And you will be that old person giving a speech that no one remembers or wants to hear. 20 or 30 years from now, you too will be baffled by whatever the 2042 version of Snapchat is, the type of music the youth are streaming, or even the unwritten rules about your emoji usage and what it says about you. Time has a funny way of creeping up on you when you least expect it. And I reflect on the passage of time because as I work with my staff on this speech, it made me reflect on my own journey and how it brought me to this stage, speaking in front of the great class of 2022. I want to share 3 pieces of advice with you as you commence on your journey with degree or degrees for some of you in hand. My first piece of advice is to chart your own path with courage and integrity. For many of you, much of the course of your lives up to this point has been largely shaped by or set by the people around you, your parents, your siblings, your peers, your teachers and professors, or your mentors. Now it's time for you to chart your path forward and to choose what is right for you, using what you've learned at home, at Stockton, or during your adventures exploring the world around you to decide for yourselves where you'll make your impact and what kind of legacy you'll leave behind. I grew up in what we call the country. How many of you know about country living? Okay, nobody wants to put up their hands. I see one hand way in the back. I grew up in a small South Carolina community that was predominantly low income and where few people, if any, went to college. No one on my mother's side of the family had even graduated from high school, so I had no idea what to expect when I went off to college. When I left my tiny community to attend college a couple of hours away, I was overwhelmed and homesick, but I kept going because I knew that the world had so much more in store for me. It's amazing how much can change in just a few years with hard work and determination. From being the first in my family to finish high school to the first to attend college, I soon found myself graduating with my master's degree. And when I chose to pursue my doctorate, there were a couple of family members who asked questions like, why do you need to get all these degrees? Do you need to get all the degrees? Or when are you going to finish school and get a real job? Well, I've had several real jobs since then, and in fact, the powers that be even thought I'd have some words of wisdom to share with each of you here today. While many people in the community where I was reared expected my path to be filled with success, I couldn't always see it so clearly. I occasionally questioned my own path. But let me tell you, do not let self-doubt creep into your mindset. I kept pressing forward, collecting all that I learned along the way, including book knowledge, advice from mentors, and the examples of peers to fine-tune the vision I had for my life. And that vision was I wanted to help other people, just like myself, experience the transformative power of higher education. So remember that when you chart a path that is aligned with your values and a bold vision, you will often end up in the most remarkable of places, like standing on stage addressing the class of 2022. And you will have the satisfaction of knowing that your hard work made it possible. Second, I hope you embrace lifelong learning, even from the most unexpected places. Some of you might think that with your diploma in hand, you're finally closing the chapter on school and learning forever. But the learning continues even after you leave this campus and as you try to figure out your place in this world. The most valuable lessons you will learn are the ones that teach you about how to live this singular and precious life that you have in ways that honor your roots and the person that you want to be, to care deeply for those around you, to use your talents to serve others and leave this world better than when you entered it, and to impart that wisdom to the next generation who holds the future of our society in their hands. Life lessons can come from anywhere, even from people you thought you had nothing to learn from. In my case, I'm learning from my 11-year-old daughter, Kayla. What could she possibly teach me beyond the latest TikTok dance or challenge, which she's always begging to show me? When I was young, everything seemed like a life or death sentence. Everything had to be just right. My daughter is entering her teenage years soon, and listening to her, you'd think the world was coming to an end every single week. Imagine how stressful it is to operate like that 24/7. I'm sure that many of you probably resemble that remark as you navigated your college years, stressing about everything. But as I got older, I realized that many of the things that kept me up at night in my youth weren't important in the grand scheme. My priorities evolved. One of the most important influences of my life was my 4th grade and 6th grade teacher, Mr. Scott. And he was my first true male role model. He taught me to put forth my true best effort, let things fall where they may, and try not to worry about the outcomes. Of course, at the time, I thought he simply didn't understand, and you guessed it, I continued to worry about whether I had done enough. Now that my daughter is around the same age that I was at that time, I've seen that lesson come full circle. I may not have internalized it when Mr. Scott told me the first time, but life has a way of reinforcing the lessons you learned as a kid over and over in different ways and from different sources. As much as you might cringe at the thought right now, you really might, you really do become more and more like your parents or the other role models in your lives as you get older. And when you do, you begin to appreciate the lessons they've been drilling into you for years and the teachings you've learned here at Stockton. Listen carefully to the life lessons shared by the people in your lives. Keep your eyes open so you don't miss the opportunities to connect the dots. It'll only make you stronger, more resilient, and better at whatever it is that you choose to do. Finally, my third piece of advice is to push yourselves to move forward and upward wherever you are, even when you're doing well. At each stop of my career and each personal milestone, I would always ask, what's next? Because I never wanted to become complacent. Even when I reached my career goal of becoming a chief diversity officer relatively early in my career, I wasn't done seeing what else was out there. I believed that there was something else I could do in service to others. One of the things that drove me to push myself forward and upward was my desire to live up to the promise that my family saw in me. Those robes and caps that you're wearing today are indicators of promise fulfilled. But don't think you're done. Forward and upward movement means much more is in store for each of you here today. There were 3 women who were central to my upbringing. My mother's still alive, but my grandmother and my aunt both passed away well over a decade ago. One of my regrets is that they didn't live to see my greatest professional achievements, because I'm here in front of you as a result of the love and the lessons that they poured into me and their unwavering belief in my potential, just as your families at home and here at Stockton poured into you to help get you to where you are today and set you on the amazing journey ahead of you. So, to paraphrase JFK, let us begin anew and commence. Commence into your bold new lives equipped with Stockton degrees and credentials that will allow you to keep pressing forward. But don't just press forward, also nudge yourselves upwards in all aspects of your lives. Don't be complacent. Pursue greater heights for yourself, your families, and those who come after you. Congratulations on this monumental achievement. I, along with your families and the entire Stockton family, expect to see big things coming from the class of 2022 in the years to come. Good luck and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bridges. That was awesome. At this time, we would like to give special recognition to members of the faculty who are being granted emeritus status. Faculty from their respective academic programs recommended colleagues be granted the title to honor their teaching, scholarship, service to students, and the many other contributions to the Stockton University community. The Board of Trustees further commemorated this recognition with a board resolution. I ask that the faculty members rise when I call their name. Dr. Jean Abbott, Associate Professor of Business Accounting. Dr. Arnaldo Cordero Roman, Associate Professor of Spanish. Dr. Matthew Landau, Professor of Marine Science. And Dr. Shelley Myers, Associate Professor of Education. We would also like to recognize 4 faculty members who were unable to be with us today. Ms. Judith Copeland, Associate Professor of Writing. Dr. Kara Hood, Associate Professor of Writing. Dr. Louis Leitner, Professor of Business Studies Management. And Dr. William Lubenow, Distinguished Professor of History. Congratulations to all our Professor Emeriti. Please be seated. We will now begin the presentation of candidates for the baccalaureate degree, followed by the master's degree and doctoral degree candidates. A professional photographer has been engaged to take individual photographs of the candidates as they walk across the stage, and proofs will be mailed to you. The ceremony is also being recorded, and copies may be ordered by visiting Stockton's commencement website. We ask that all guests remain seated in their seats while taking pictures. Here it comes. Will the baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? Provost Kahanev, it is my privilege to report to you that the baccalaureate candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects by successfully completing curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to award the appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishment.
Baccalaureate degree candidates in the class of 2022 who've successfully completed all the requirements for graduation. Based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the State of New Jersey and Stockton University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degree with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now switch your tassels. Please be seated.
We are now privileged to present to you the new baccalaureate degree candidates. To honor your fellow graduates when you exit the stage, please promptly return to your seats. The presentation will begin with the School of Arts and Humanities to my right and the School of Business to my left. Would the baccalaureate degree graduates please come forward?
Charlene Baker.
Holly Anderson.
Connor Bell.
Ian Angotti.
Madeline Charneski.
Jack Arnold.
Caitlin Clark.
Brandon Basco.
Shannon Colligan.
Ryan Leduc.
Madison Derbyshire.
Corey Brantz.
Leah Hawthorne. Mark John Cortez. Lily Jenkins.
Emily Cianci.
Brielle Kemley.
Malika Cook-Adis.
Pranav Malhotra.
Caitlin Delfing.
April Martha.
Nicole DeMarco.
Courtney Mertz.
Jessica Ehlers.
Cecilia Mitchell.
Tristan Farina Jr.
Yamale Nova.
Jason Ferriero.
Anaja Peck.
Valerie Joy Garvin.
Brianna Rapp.
James Gazelle.
Ashley Sloan,
Brendan Hunter,
Andrea Tamaro,
Michael Jedlowski,
Davine Velasquez,
Nikki Lombardi,
Bowen Hall,
Ryan Lorello,
Cassandra Aponte,
Michael Maros,
Vanessa Bacchioni,
Michaela O'Donnell,
Teresa Bancheri,
Michael O'Neill,
Alyssa Berry,
Ryan O'Sullivan,
Olivia DeBow,
Nicholas Price,
Tobetchuku Nworam,
Alexander Rafiki,
Catherine Farah,
Gracie Roberts,
Emily Gorelick,
Maxwell Ronolo,
Sarah Gould,
Fatima Sanders,
Faith Holmes,
Anna Sarah,
Angel Hune,
Robert Shea,
Christopher Irizarry,
Sasha Lynn Sotomayor,
Colin Keena,
Ryan Taylor,
Alexa Kelly,
Peyton Teal,
Megan Knapp,
Ujjal Thapa,
Asia Lackland,
Matthew Van Zyl,
V. Mai,
Juwan Wilcox,
Cynthia Manning,
Ian Williamson,
Gabriella Navantieri,
Connor Yackel,
Nell Nguyen,
Anna Zaccaro,
Montana Fiatep, Brett Abrahamson, Chelsea Jane Ramos, Julio Acevedo, Amy Rose, Nicolo Adorno, Cara Salerno, Rahul Agarwal, Holly Sweet, Evan Albanese, Rachel Sweeter, Alana Algretto, Annalise Sylvester, Dominic Andriella, Laura Tannock, Mia Arbona, Dominique Turtoway, Dylan Avino, Diuna Thomas, Omar Ba, Sandra Vargas, Alexandros Baraktaris, Alba Verdugo, Sarah Barker, Thomas Whaley, Jalen Barnes, Ryan Yacheri, Samira Barnes, Adriana Alfaro, Brianna Bazilo, Samantha Apple, Salma Begum, Ilana Augustus, Farrar Blakeney, Michael Barceloni Jr., Dale Boggs, Peter Bioskowski, Stephen Brasco, Jackson Boisvert, Noah Brown, Bianca Braslett, Trevor Brown, Aaron Budinitsky, Daniel Bunting, Brian Callahan, Peter Burke, Will Marielle Camberlen, Jacqueline Burns, Axel Ciron, Carly Burton, Jordan Dahan,
Jade Dean,
Annalise Davis, Lady Cal Granada, Michelle De Mola, Michael Cameron, Erica DeStefano,
Ajeen McNair,
Tyler Dominic, Sean Carew, Danielle Diamond, Annalise Kelly, Anika Edwards, Christopher Church, Chase Fogletto, Kiana Cooper, Matthew Giannuario, Anthony Coppola, Margaret Gibbons, Given Correa, Caitlin Githens, Ariana Cuba, Alyssa Grover, Christopher Cummings, Bryce Harris,
Francis Curtin,
Kadena Harris Hood,
Olivia DeBartolo,
Christina Hegenbart,
Jordan DeBro,
Jacob Henderson,
Matthew Dean,
Sasha Higgs,
Christopher DeGroot,
Nicole Hutchison,
Anne Del Colombo,
Dacia Johnson,
Haley Della Rosby,
Courtney Karpofich,
Dazani DeLeon,
Rachel Kina,
Emily DeLima,
Ryan Kellett,
Phil DeMarco,
Angelina Kelly,
Brian Deo,
Jessica Kelly,
Alexander DeTurding,
Lindsay Kelly,
Eric DeVenezia,
Samantha Lynham,
Elizabeth Dimmerman,
Diana Mariquin,
Colby Deneen,
David Martin Gonzalez,
Vincent DeNicholas,
Noah Mays,
John Donatus,
Roderick McCullum,
Timothy Doretti Jr.,
Christopher Mililo,
Zaire Dorn,
Dominic Mercadante,
Jordan Downs,
Victoria Mazzina,
Brenna Drummond,
Evelyn Morrill,
Nicole Durso,
Christian Mosier,
Brett Easton,
Adam Pickens,
Michael Elassar,
Rebecca Pollard,
Ryan Eshelman,
Mackenzie Rivera,
Daniel Fector,
Jenna Russo,
Evan Feldman,
Samaria Sartor,
Peter Felici,
Shelby Scott,
Dylan Fiedler,
Lauren Simon,
Christian Flores,
Amaris Sotomayor,
Emily Gabriel,
Malika Stafford,
Francesco Gabrielle,
Lukaya Taylor,
Isaiah Gaines,
William Truitt,
Michael Gambino,
Ryan Turnage,
Nayeli Garcia,
Beyonce Tias,
Megan Gayduck,
Evan Waldron,
Cameron Geiser,
Melanie Wang,
Jonathan George,
Tyler Weber,
Michael Gibson,
Nicholas Weissman,
Kevin Gilclara,
Lindsay Wayrick,
Nico Ganella,
Michael Wine,
Brandon Gorski,
Daniel Ashenfelter,
Darian Grissard,
Stephen Barkassi,
Sydney Grunsby,
Stephen Cross,
Christian Guerrera,
Margot Greenbaum,
Evan Hall,
Olivia Harris,
Lauren Helfrich,
Rory Hines, Alberto Jimenez,
Kyle Herman,
Cameron McGarry,
Alexandra Hickman, Casey Mendyke, John Hill Jr.,
Nathaniel Ryman,
Daniel Hitchner,
Gaetano Riccardi,
Anna Huang,
Victoria Scanella,
Sergaline Hogu,
Nicholas Spina,
Matthew Holman,
Thomas Sundberg,
Sabrin Hoskins,
Shauna Van Horn,
Kareem Hossein,
Yvette Asongba,
Charles Howard V,
Mildred Cardenas Alcantar,
Nasheed Howard,
Braulio Garcia, Annie Maldonado Cardona, Ariel Norbeck, Catherine Rodriguez, Krista Voltaggio, Stefan and Tyler Delp, Michaela Altamari,
Andrew Hudson,
Joseph Andrus Jr.,
Sean Hughes,
Cynthia Anstey,
Alyssa Hummer,
Rhiannon August,
Matthew Hyatt,
Dana Bellamy,
Justina Ibrahim,
Anna Best,
Muhammad Ibrar,
Samantha Boriesny,
Cassandra Inman,
Evan Carr,
Sungyoon Jeong,
Natalie Chambers,
Casey Jones,
Madison Chris,
Trevor Jones,
Anthony Coleman,
Lauren Kapp,
Bradford Crest Jr.,
Ryan Karwacki,
Christopher Curtin,
Sonthara Kem,
Joey Dianjoel,
Somita Kadka,
Hannah DeMassimo,
Hamza Khan,
Elizabeth Glass,
Mohammed Khan,
Elena Gonzalez.
Ryan King.
Andrew Griggs.
Alex Klalo.
Mackenzie Hickey.
Mackenzie Klein.
Kaylee Iovin.
Paul Klein.
Christopher Giuliano.
Jessica Laggery.
Meredith Keenan.
Carly Leonard.
Fernan Morero Guaido.
Keynes Louisant.
Michelle Mastrangelo.
Connor Lowry.
Jessica Matos.
Noah Lozano.
Nicholas Meal.
Alexandra Lukens.
Danielle Soto.
Kevin Lucy.
Melanie Then.
Ella Maciel.
Andrew Torres.
Thomas Mahar.
Yatora Edwards.
Rifat Mahmood.
Nicholas Krivox.
Aiden Malave.
Kyle Memodowski.
Michael Marciente.
Nicholas Signorello.
Madeline Marigliano Nardella.
Caitlin Armstrong.
Yasmir Martinez.
Riley Aracho.
Donna Maria Mbasat.
Maureen Barrett.
Martin McAndrew Jr.
Shannon Bennett.
Ian McCall.
Ashley Borse.
Kristen McCarthy.
Allison Bretz.
Monica McCarthy.
Caitlin Caraway.
Maddie McCracken.
Kayla Castelli.
Patrick McGinty.
Courtney Corson.
Christopher McGrotty.
Alexa DePeso.
Grace Medina.
Brendan Doherty.
Filippo Menegon.
Teresa Doughton.
Cameron Merlino.
Madison Egan.
Matthew Metzler.
Victoria Ellis.
Justin Mishner.
Zoe Flowers.
Andrew Mulhern.
Kylie Gelston.
Liza Miller.
Michelle Germana.
Kyle Mills.
Catherine Heck.
Nidhi Mistry.
Adam Hughes.
Ryan Mitziopoulos.
Aaron Jameson.
Chelsea Molina.
Amy Juckett.
Oliver Moreno.
Lauren Kennedy.
Ava Myers.
Emma Klein.
Anthony Napoli.
Thomas Lazar Jr.
Manahal Nassim.
Kyle Milan.
Vincent Nelson.
Ashley Marsh.
John Newbold.
Malia Mason.
Eric Nguyen.
Jennifer Matleck.
Viviana Nguyen.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Aaron Nichols.
Bethany Madrow.
John Nicholson III.
Nina Muldoon.
Akash Ojha.
Gia Murphy.
Bobby Oka.
Marina Naciola.
Diana Osorio.
Vincent Petruzzi.
Michelena Ostas.
Diamond Rieselman.
Noe Paguada.
Taylor Reese.
Stephen Palmerson.
Erlime Rosario.
Gerard Panella.
Mason Rusikovic.
Logan Papp.
Leslie Salas.
Nihar Patel.
Julia Sabalia.
Parth Patel.
Catherine Sugar.
Amy Perry.
Kylie Sullivan.
Stephen Peters.
Kristen Towson.
Thomas Peterson Jr.
Nicholas Walters.
Chow Pham.
Kirsten Warnig.
An Fan.
Chelsea Williams.
Christopher Pierre.
Jordan Zura.
Jacqueline Polisano. Lee Douglas. Justin Poole. Amanda Klapach. Kyle Priebe. Samantha Mogano. Sarah Robertus. Michael Lorge Sr. Haram Raza. Lauren Potter. Caitlin Reichert. Morgan Potter. Austin Reed. Brittany Young. Alexander Riley.
Cassidy Graysick.
Noel Reinhardt.
Jordan Hine.
Marco Reyes Jr.
Corey Smith.
Andrew Richards.
Carolyn Olson.
Brian Rinaldi.
Alexandra McCoy Giordano.
Patrick Riordan.
Rihanna Marinelli.
Joseph Rivera.
Kaylee Pacone.
Luis Rivera.
Lillian Faust.
Alexander Rogers.
Madison Phillips.
Jasmine Rodriguez.
Megan Neringer.
Valeria Rodriguez Gallo.
Sophia Pulio.
Noah Roger.
Gabriella Bellino.
Teresa Rogovin.
Mason Henry.
Alicia Roman.
Eric Higginbart.
Alicia Romer.
Joy Holman.
Dante Rotella.
Carly Ruggieri.
Lane Ruberton.
Anna Pels.
James Ruggiero.
Raquel Rothstein.
Adam Pisani. David Padilla Sanchez. Vincent Sacchetti. Anthony Steele. Shelton Sainville. Kieran Subin. Emily Saldarini. Catherine Campion. Melissa Salinas. Benjamin Gregorio I. Caitlin Santosuoso. Nadir Hassan. Justin Schaff. Marissa Hun. Lauren Seelinger. Jessica Lago. Daniel Senlick. Jeremy Mehta. Jugnu Shah. Adonis Dale Melobita. Colin Shea. Ngan Nguyen. Benjamin Sheikh. True Nguyen. Sabine Silistru. Lorena Pehar. Kevin Simpson. Aman Sandilia. Stephen Skokan. Matthew Carter. Chris Snuffer. Cindy Escobar, Twinkle Sondhi, Simone Jones, Jacques Srouer, Jessica Ketschek, Michael Tai, Paige Kowalski, Nicholas Thom, Iona Lee Burden, Andrew Tomeno, Roberto Lopez, Mai Tien Tran, Diane Mass, Ngoc Tran, Emily Mickelson, Timothy Tran, Kyle Navalance, Paul Tucci, Jennifer Ortiz, Russell Van de Sand, Gloria Santos, Eric Verily, Jasmine Stone, Jenna Vigorito, Julia Thompson, Jacqueline Villafuerte, Lovata Saku Ajay, Michael Vita, Marilyn Abwaji, Hassan Wahid, Naira Abu Abdu, Luke Walsh, Joanna Alzate Shirksnas, Dana Wark, Isabella Pisano, Haley Whitcraft, Sarah Amusi, Alicia Witter Sr., Marilyn Andelise Madera, Shane Wilborn, Kelsey Andrus, Jake Wilfred, Linda Avia, Jack Wilhelm, Danielle Ayala, Kevin Williams Jr., Connor Back, Randy Weibel, Kiara Beja, Richard Yanella, Caitlin Berardo, Darren Younger, Gianna Besser, Michael Zani, Nimel Bland,
Edward Antonius,
Jerry Branoski III,
Brian Brazoska,
Aiden Burns,
Cody Butler,
Brendan Burns,
Stephen Carano,
Megan Kavanaugh,
Michael Chilemi,
Simone Cyrus,
Miles Clark,
Allison Gale David,
Joseph DeLesio,
Daniel Dillon,
Andrew Decker,
Emily Donzanti,
Isaac Edelhauser,
Joshua Doughty,
Hugo Escobar,
Brianne Dwyer,
Robert Flacco,
Erica Eichenhoff,
Eric Garcia Vargas,
Kaylee Ellis,
Giuseppe Guarini,
Marina Eskander, Philip Wambach, Michael Frank, Armando Manlangit, Nicholas Hafner,
Andrew Helper,
Nicole Haralampidis,
Keith Holland Jr.,
Rachel Harris,
John Hughes III,
Jean Marie Harvey,
Frank Hulse III,
Valentina Haverluck,
Nicholas Klepatch,
Jessica Heitman,
Christopher Lopez,
Benjamin Herthler,
Ian Nodgeson,
Michaela Hoffman,
Long Nguyen,
Julia Klein,
Thomas Oland,
Michael Tutela Jr.,
Joshua Smith,
Juliana Fortis,
Timothy Smith,
Courtney Lee,
Jackson Splinter,
Caroline McClellan,
Nak Ta,
Marissa Mann,
Eddie Tran,
Jasmine Marquez,
Trenton Butler,
Yesenia Marroquin Salas,
Thomas Darcy Jr.,
Alexa Mastrati,
Morgan Elstad,
Lydia McBride,
Evan Mirren,
Brittany McConnell,
John Raven,
Maura McCusker,
Keith Stankiewicz Jr.,
Andrew Makhedlishvili,
Sarah Jane Anderson,
Momota Millie,
Emily Ashley,
Fan Nguyen,
Trent Bosart,
Bernice Tombwe,
Haley Bowling,
Amira Padilla,
Dakota Brantner,
Alexandria Parks,
Brady Bresnahan,
Ronnie Patel,
Jason Brush,
Vishnu Pendyala,
Alexandra Konina,
Tiffany Pyers,
Walter Dean,
Sarah Richardson,
Cleondonisa Del Mundo,
Reed Ridgway,
Isabella DeLuca,
Rebecca Rimby,
Alexis DeTulio,
Nicholas Rivera,
Mikola Hubjek,
John Rossi,
Edward Francoeur,
Alexa Circio,
Elena Gill,
Marina Smith,
Bridget Grace,
William Smith,
Catherine Graham,
Arjan Spahiu,
Caitlin Hargrave,
Samantha Straub,
Sean Heaney,
Shin Rao Tan,
Taylor James,
Isabel Tereshko,
Justine Jaswale,
Carla Rossi Tolentino,
Kevin Kokori,
Brittany Tran,
Jake Kaiser,
Etenbuk Ukpe,
Megan Kaplan,
Tiffany Vibora,
Morgan Chrisman,
Michelle Villamil,
Emily Krupinski,
Ashley Villavicencio,
Caitlin Lee,
Andrew Walsh,
Sophia Legespi,
Courtney Weber,
Julia Lamicki,
Madison Wilkins,
Cassandra Lynn,
Dominique Williams,
Maria Manchin,
Matthew Furry,
Terry Matumba, Sydney Glover, Donald Owen III,
Aiden Justiniano,
Amanda Perfidio,
Erica Rush,
Michael Raguso Falia,
Mark Tell,
Colin Redman,
Zachary Wilson,
Jordan Rosser,
Karel Aboud,
Leslie Santana,
Nashali Ayala Romero,
Melissa Schmierer,
Heather Barisso,
Tyler Savine,
Jacqueline Bates,
Jessica Skierski,
Liam Kamey,
Sarah Skierski,
Chiagozim Obadike,
Amanda Small,
Shelby Curtis,
Brian Tartus,
Matt de Guzman,
Sydney Thoreau,
Megan DiMatteo,
Isabella Thompson,
Sean Dillon,
Lauren Towlin,
David Drews,
Gianna White,
Danielle Dyson,
Kylie Wright,
Nicolina Ferraro,
Grace Zarillo,
Christina Fisher.
Alexander Kotova.
Ian Goldberg.
Christopher Averill.
Alyssa Gruber.
Matthew Bleckner.
Ryan Hicks.
Ryan Carr.
Rory Hogan.
Michael Cole.
Donovan Hawley.
Michael Conroy.
Corinne Iacono.
Bishop Curry.
Marlena Carley.
Kaylee Dinda.
Amber Loomis.
Arnaldo Farias Rodriguez.
Jennifer Mackey.
Jonathan Franchetti.
Hannah Malgari.
Ian Gabriel.
Aaron McNally.
Helen Geraldino Madera.
Aaron McNally.
Sazia Hasnan.
Ashley Peoples.
Kyle Jackson.
Anya Phelps.
Nicholas Kimberlin.
Javier Ramirez.
Jarek Kalikowski.
Nicole Rinkowitz.
Christopher Condis.
Cassandra Shank.
Devin Longer. Allison Reed. Jason McAdam.
Patrick Slane.
Saeed Layakubi.
Noah Smith.
Justin Moyer.
Richard Strittmatter.
Michael Palmisano.
Catherine Tensfeld.
Ethan Quijano.
Kylie Williams.
Justin Rand.
Dakota Bell.
Jamison Schulzer.
Alexander Belonzi.
Idris Taylor.
John Bertone.
Ian Wiley.
Robert Carrier Jr.
David Alexis.
Dylan Clark.
Thomas Babecki.
Benjamin Ziobek.
Rashima Bishop.
Lauren Huber.
Parker Bonaventure.
Destiny Jerkins.
Robert Buccilli III.
Casey Manera.
Ariana Burgos.
Jeanette Myers.
Julia Clifford.
Taylor Patterson.
Zanasia Cutler.
Zachary Waub.
Luciana Gilfone.
Matthew Gulia.
Zachary Harmel.
Sarah Kelly.
Stephanie Ann Kitsukaiwitz Stetsko.
Richard Kemble.
Matthew Kokai. Madeline Miner. Darnell Lopez. Tiandra Oliver. Shaijan Lasasso. Samuel Phelan. Emily Liberto.
Carrie Alpin.
Diana Marinelli.
Stephanie Amato.
Emily Martinez.
Lauren Bayer.
Anthony Medile.
Jessica Baroni.
Melanie Mendez Ordonez.
Selena Bianchi.
James Nguyen.
Ashley Brining.
Allison O'Hara.
Sarah Carnevale.
Lynette Pasley.
Joan Cochran. Femi Osusa I. Paige Hezel. Zachary Vergata. Heather Hill. Sarah Patrignani. Alexandria Hoffman. Kendall McGacken. Samantha Hughes. Andrew Dicken. Nicole Kaplan. Juliette DeBrigard. Alicia Lazaro. Louis Coppolino Jr. Matthew Leeson. Sydney Bazillion. Steve Lee. Jason Hirakawa. Samantha Maxwell.
Robert Schaefer.
Isabella Moore.
Anaya Smith.
Amber Munchback.
Thomas Turto.
Amelia Pawlowski.
Bianca Watson.
Kylie Renna.
Paige Getter.
Stephen Talarski.
Daniela Nunez.
Samantha Tomkowicz.
Sarah Tannenbaum.
Daniel Weiss.
Nicole Dima.
Noah Wendt.
Alyssa Pagano.
Jennifer Carpio.
Victoria Wells.
Heather Folsom.
You are about to get 7 gold cards.
Desiree Liston.
Tara Havrila.
Matthew Tebavera.
Cheyenne Leon.
Daniel Ligon.
Jalen Pagano.
Kylie Evans.
Kyle Unger.
Alan Bubello.
Dominic Verachia.
Michael Atala.
Janae Anderson.
Rachel Sheets.
Elizabeth Janae Anderson. Stephen Blythe. Elizabeth Applegate. Stephen Blythe. Delaney Brennan. Jaden Kraft. Madison Hofteaser. Elena Nunez. Andy Palomino. Kayla Rogelski. Daniel Sanchez. Shibu Sushil. Michael Caritas. Sean Carr. Aaron Paul Casanada. Jonathan Ely. Haley Haberstroh. Matthew Lemunion. Justin Dooley. Gina Grunwald. Justin Dooley. Gina Grunwald.
Will the master's degree candidates please rise? Provost Kahanif, it is my privilege to report.
Gina Grunwald.
Report to you that the master's degree candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
Master's degree candidates in the class of 2022 who have successfully completed all the requirements for graduation based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and the Stockton University Board of Trustees. I confer upon you the master's degree with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
We are now privileged to present the new master's graduates. To honor your fellow graduates, when you exit the stage, please promptly return to your seats. Will the master's graduates please come forward?
Jamil Allen, Jessica Chamberlain, Caitlin Alusik, Stephen Kenny, Victoria Kaizo, Rosemary Reedy, Paige Calabro,
Semya Andrews,
Jenna Del Grosso,
Shamika Armstrong,
Dondre Dennis,
Alice Brandt,
Jessica Funk,
Matthew Britt,
Brianna Hathcock,
Caitlin Cordell,
Robin Hess,
Valentina Efremova,
Matthew Hoffman,
Andrew Fellon,
Jillian Krieger,
Kimberly Gotthold,
Joshua McCarty,
Brittany Harding,
Gabrielle McCleary,
Ashley Harris,
Kelly McLinn,
Nicole Howarth,
Danielle Mililo,
Caitlin Hughes,
Jada Cooper,
Taylor Pearl,
Carlos Morris,
Polnata Jantapramajit,
Erica Rice,
Alexander Jones,
Hugo Riveros,
Ashley Kruger,
Erica Schuenberg,
Jacob Magner,
Aaron Shrikes,
Matthew Nice,
Elise Tyndell,
Anna Pansini,
Sarah Wolfgang,
Jose Rivera Sinclair,
Tara Wood,
Daniel Rupert,
Allison Boyer,
Anne-Marie Sarcone,
Nicole Ciccone,
Nicholas Shanker,
Abigail Laird,
Beatrice Schaff,
Mary Murphy Baum,
Charles Sinandan Jr.,
Nikki Nolan,
Taylor Snyder,
Anthony Thawley,
Chanel Troche,
Lauren Ziza,
Brittany Valenti,
Fabulous Flores,
Darren Wan,
Marissa Campbell,
Nishat Yasmin, Kristen Brennan, Ashley Zittner, Derek Hulkes, Taylor Beitner, Aisha Kilich, Robin DeShields, Nicholas Paisley, Adriana Dion, Ryan Rodriguez, Eccleston Exantus, Sarah Strang, Amanda Gann, Heather Sampe, Deneen Hill, Charlotte Leone, Virginia Holman, Christian Chadwick, Stephen Charlotte Leone, Lauren Teig, Emmy Lefebvre, Brianna Lamb, Chatia Loach, Shaza Mohammed, Nicole Ong, Sarah Owen,
I'm just trying to figure out, so these,
Emily Pernal, Jennifer Peelhow, Carly Brower, Alex Frimpong, Christian Chadwick,
We will now present the doctoral degree candidates. Provost Kahanev, it is my privilege to report to you that the doctoral degree candidates assembled here have qualified with all respects for degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by Stockton University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded the appropriate degrees in recognition of their accomplishment.
doctoral degree candidates in the class of 2022 who've successfully completed all the requirements for graduation. Based on the approval of the faculty and the authority vested by in me by the state of New Jersey and the Stockton University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the doctoral degree with all rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
We are now privileged to present the new doctoral candidates. Would the doctoral candidates from the School of Education please come forward?
Dr. Bohan Zilovic. Dr. Edward Cobbs, Jr. Dr. Amanda Copes. Dr. Mary Gibson. Dr. Shirlene Henry James. Dr. Alicia Hermo Weaver. Dr. Gregory Jackson. Dr. Deborah Kippix. Dr. Princess Latimir Hoagland. Dr. Sean Linehan. Dr. Jennifer Love. Dr. Lori McNally Griscom. Dr. Megan Ryben. Dr. Jamie Richardson. Dr. Chad Roberts. Dr. Sherry Spence Leslie. Dr. Tracy Stewart. Dr. Sherry Spence Leslie.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. With your generosity and that of family and friends who purchased yearbook ads, the Stockton Foundation will award three $1,000 scholarships from the Students Helping Students Fund. Scholarships will benefit one rising sophomore, one rising junior, and one rising senior. This is your legacy of the class of 2022. I would now like to recognize 97 graduates, some of whom just crossed this stage and were awarded their degrees. They are members of our community who have served in or are on active duty with the United States military. I ask that they please rise and that everyone join me in congratulating them. Thank you for your service. Please be seated. Now I would like to ask Ray Ciccone, Chair of the Stockton Board of Trustees, to come to the podium.
Okay, we're almost there. Congratulations, graduates. I am a proud graduate myself, class of 1979, and am now chair of the Board of Trustees. I want to add my congratulations to everyone. You have demonstrated a great commitment in earning your degree at Stockton. This will serve you well in the next chapter of your life with the community and your advanced studies. I welcome you to our community of over 60,000 Stockton Osprey alumni representing Stockton throughout the United States and beyond. I encourage and urge all of you to remain involved with Stockton and to take full advantage of the programs and activities offered to all alumni. Congratulations from the Board of Trustees and the entire Stockton community.
Congratulations, graduates. All of us at Stockton are proud of you and embrace you as graduates and lifelong members of the Stockton family. Thank you for choosing Stockton and for remaining a part of the university's legacy. As the recessional begins, I ask that the graduates remain seated and enjoy a rendition of Ospreys on Parade, our alma mater. The video projected on the screen will be performed by Joseph Cermati, a proud member of the class of 2015 and manager of Academic Personnel Administration, accompanied by Dr. Beverly Vaughn, professor of music. Will the platform party please rise? Graduates, please join your friends and family on the boardwalk after the platform party exits the arena floor. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your special day.
Let us travel in the footsteps of those who came before. Here on our campus in the Pines, knowledge opens every door. And when we go marching out to the world beyond our Stockton, at ease with what we learn, our future has begun. Knowledge leads to knowledge, and Stockton shows the way. Oh, let us be among those for whom Stockton leads the way. Oh, let us proudly strive to be examples day by day. Knowledge leads to knowledge, and Stockton shows the way. Oh, let us be among those for whom Stockton